We'd like to know what principle Rick Santorum uses, and I assume you agree with, in order to make this critical decision of whether to go to war or not.
Well, Jan, it's all about keeping America safe and free. Out of all the people up there, Rick is, I think, the most qualified when it comes to national policy. He's worked with this in the United States Congress, in the House side, on the Senate side, and over the last few years he's been involved with so many organizations that look at national security. He understands the national security issues in the Middle East, I believe, more than any other candidate on the stage up there.
What is the principle? We want to know what conditions are necessary and sufficient to go to war, so we would be able to predict whether he thinks in a particular situation we should go to war or not.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for me to put any one standard, Jan, but I would say, as far as I know, when the security of America and Americans are at risk, Senator Santorum's going to put every option on the table to make sure that we keep our country safe and strong.
Does he have a principle that permits us to know when national security is at risk and when it isn't?
Well, I don't know if it's any one specific principle, but I will say this. He's going to talk to his generals to make sure that his staff and the people around him brief him with what's going on in the world, and he's going to make that decision. I think tonight we saw the depth of his national security knowledge, and he's going to bring all of that to bear when he's making these decisions.
If a country harbors terrorists that have attacked us, would that be sufficient reason to go to war under his standard?
I think it would be sufficient reason to bring the possibility of doing that. But I can promise you he is going to use every means prior to that, because that has to be the last measure. And I believe he's going to take every measure up to that. And if it takes that, it's certainly going to be on the table.
So maybe he would go to war in that case and maybe not, right?
Absolutely.
What if a country declared a trade embargo on us and they wouldn't sell us their oil? Would that be a reason to go to war with them?
No, I don't think so. I mean, when we talk about economics, there's other things that we can do. Going to war has to be the last thing, the last option. And it's something that Senator Santorum's not going to do in a very cavalier way. It's going to be a very serious type of thought process.
Was he in favor of going to war in Libya?
You'll have to talk to him about that one.
How about yourself? Were you in favor?
No, I thought we did the right thing.
We did the right thing in going to war in Libya.
Well, the Libyan thing. Listen, Gaddafi should have gone years ago, in my opinion. And it's something. That thing is gone. He is out of there, and we're going to help turn that thing around in Libya.
Was it right to go to war in Libya?
I think it was. Yes, absolutely.
Were American national security interests at stake?
I think so. Absolutely.
What were American national security interests in Libya?
Well, Muammar Gaddafi was a threat to the world, and certainly to the United States. I mean, when you bring down an innocent airliner, and the things that he's done, I think that was a very good reason to do something like that.
But American security interests were at stake in Libya?
Absolutely. I believe so.
I thought we were friends with Libya, and we had patched up our differences. He made a payment, and he was back in the good graces of the administration. Condoleezza Rice visited Gaddafi. He got rid of his weapons. Why was now he a threat?
Well, I really don't want to get into that right now. What I'd love to talk to is about Senator Santorum and what kind of president he's going to be when it comes to national security.
Okay, so you don't want to tell us about why you think Libya was a national security threat?
Let's do this. I'm not the one running for office right now. Senator Santorum's the one for running for office. Let's talk to him.
We value your opinions as well. You're a former congressman, and you're an intelligent man. You've been dealing with these issues. We want to know what you think. Let me ask you this. Is liberating and protecting foreigners a proper function of the federal government?
I think protecting American interest and United States citizens and our sovereignty is first and foremost.
But what about liberating and protecting foreigners? Is that a proper function of the federal government?
If it deals with national security for the United States and its people, absolutely.
But what if it has not? What if it has nothing to do with our national security? The purpose is to liberate and protect foreigners. Is that a proper function according to our Constitution?
I think what we have to do is make sure that it has to deal with our national security and our citizenry and deal with the things that are associated with the United States of America.
Does our Constitution say? But you're an expert on constitutional issues. Does our Constitution say that the federal government is supposed to liberate and protect foreigners?
Our Constitution says that we will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and its interest.
Right, but it says nothing about liberating and protecting foreigners, right?
Let me restate. Protect and defend the Constitution of the United States and its interest. And I got to run. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.